Melchizedek is a fascinating figure found in the Bible. He appears briefly in both the stories of Abraham in the book of Genesis and David in the book of Psalms, yet remains quite enigmatic. In Genesis 14, he's introduced as the king-priest of Salem, and his name translates to King of Righteousness or Righteous King in Hebrew. The story itself is somewhat of a puzzle, starting with a war led by Abraham against 4 great kings in the northern region of Canaan. This portrayal of Abraham as a military leader with a formidable army is unusual. After this conflict, there is a single encounter between Abraham and Melchizedek, during which Melchizedek offers bread and wine and blesses Abraham. However, the Bible does not provide any information about Melchizedek's origin or affiliations. What we do gather is that Melchizedek was a respected spiritual leader of his time, as evidenced by Abraham's reverence for him, including giving him priestly gifts and tithing a portion of his possessions to him, mentioned in Genesis 14:21. Notable interpretation suggests that Melchizedek could be the son of Noah, who received God's blessings. We'll delve into this interpretation shortly. Commentators generally view Melchizedek as an exceptionally unique figure. According to this perspective, he possessed extraordinary qualities. He was born circumcised, held kingship in the very location where the future temple would be built, and during his era he bore the banner of priesthood. Remarkably, he even imparted teachings to Abraham in this interpretation. Abraham, revered as the father of the nation, who endured trials and received divine promises regarding descendants and land, is distinct from Melchizedek, who held the priesthood's authority at that time. Let's revisit the story of Noah's sons. For a moment, Ham and Japheth were chosen to survive the flood and the angel of death, ensuring the continuation of nations worldwide. All 3 sons were recipients of the divine promise. But I will establish my covenant with you, in Genesis 6:18. Furthermore, when God commanded them to leave the ark, he blessed all of Noah's sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, urging them to prosper, multiply, and fill the earth. As mentioned in Genesis 8:16 and Genesis 9 verse 1, God's desire was for the growth of the world without distinction between the 3 sons, all before any sinful behavior occurred. As time passed, after the flood, Ham reverted to the sinful ways of the pre-flood generation and edging in immoral behavior. Japheth's modesty was evident when he covered his father Noah, while Ham was immediately exposed in disgrace and cursed for generations, with Canaan as the focal point of the curse. Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers, in Genesis 9 verse 25. Curiously, despite Ham's future transgressions, God still intended to make a covenant specifically with him. This contrasts with the curse that followed. Interestingly, the land of Israel, known as the Promised Land, is frequently referred to as the land of Canaan, the very seat of the cursed Canaan, who was Ham's son. Let's explore the story of Shem. In more detail, he had a remarkable lifespan of 600 years, and is mentioned both in the book of Genesis and the Chronicles during the time of the flood. Shem was 98 years old, and he, along with his family, sought refuge in the ark at the age of 100. He became a father to a son named Arphaxad, according to the book of Genesis. Shem had several sons, including Elam, Asher or Aped-lad, and Aram. These descendants later became the forefathers of various Middle Eastern peoples, such as Assyrians, Elamites, Persians, and Syrians, Arameans. This collective group of peoples is often referred to as the Semitic nations. Notably, this group includes both Jews and Arabs, who, according to the Quran, trace their lineage back to the sons of Ishmael, a descendant of Abraham, who was the 9th generation to bear that name. The narrative in the book of Genesis initially indicates that the land was given to Canaan, the son of Ham. However, in the book of Jubilees, a different perspective emerges, describing the land as the inheritance of the sons of Shem. This interpretation suggests that Canaan acquired the land, unjustly taking it from Shem's descendants. Additionally, some interpretations suggest that Shem might have been the mysterious Melchizedek, the king of Salem, mentioned in Genesis 4. Melchizedek, described as a priest of the supreme God who blessed Abraham, could potentially be identified as Shem, the son of Noah. Now let's explore the intriguing connection between Melchizedek and Shem, as described in Genesis 14:18. In this verse, it is mentioned that Melchizedek, the king of Salem, brought out bread and wine and served as a priest of the Most High God. This passage leads to a fascinating interpretation that suggests Shem might be intimately associated with the divine spirit and the passing of spiritual leadership to subsequent generations, when Melchizedek, the king of Salem, is depicted as a priest of the supreme God. It becomes plausible to consider him as Shem, the son of Noah. Another reason for this understanding lies in the sequence of events. Melchizedek's appearance precedes the blessing of Abraham, and he even received a tithe from Abraham, as it is written, "Blessed be Abram by God, Most High Creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High who delivered your enemies into your hand," mentioned in Genesis 14, 19 and 20. From the outset, the priesthood might have been intended to remain in Shem's hands. However, a shift occurred when he initially blessed Abraham, and then God implying a transfer of the priesthood to Abraham's descendants. The Bible references the priesthood with Melchizedek, suggesting that Shem, Noah's son, played a role in the divine spirit's presence in the tent, as indicated in Noah's blessing. In essence, the biblical narrative hints at a transition in spiritual leadership with Shem's involvement, and suggests that Abraham and his lineage would carry forward the role of spiritual connection with the divine. Melchizedek remains a captivating and devout figure whose exact identity remains shrouded in mystery. Precisely who he was cannot be definitively determined. What we can be certain of is that this enigmatic figure appears only twice in the entire Bible, leaving us with a sense of great curiosity. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative and entertaining Christian content. Until next time.